A lot of experiences I've had in my life that I'm very proud of. I retired from the Marine Corps after 22 years. In that time frame, I deployed about 7 times. I was in charge of over 230 Marines. I worked on every platform of the Marine Corps aviation, from Harriers to C-130s to F-18s.
But when I was 15 years old, as a Christmas gift, my mom bought me flight lessons. And so I flew a plane before I actually drove a car. I just absolutely loved it, and I knew that's what I wanted to do.
I worked on Wall Street for 8 years. What I loved about Wall Street was the challenge of raising a book of business, the challenge of always getting clients in. I decided to make a career change, and I wanted to go to the very best school I could. What better school than Embry-Riddle?
Embry-Riddle's involvement in distance education began in 1971. We really helped pioneer online education. The philosophy of Embry-Riddle Online is to offer an advanced education that allows students to not only obtain the career that they desire, but to flourish in it for years to come.
I work at Executive Aviation Group. I'm a professional pilot. I did want to continue my education in general for aviation, but I also wanted to bring in the knowledge of the management side so that I can get new opportunities that are out there. So I decided to go ahead and start with Embry-Riddle for my master's.
Presently, I am an aircraft dispatcher at Talon Air. I am also a flight instructor at Ventura. The reason why I chose the online program at Riddle is because my life is anchored here in New York. From the start, my academic advisor really helped me through. We mapped out the entire program, class by class.
Students starting off with an online campus would have some concerns about feeling kind of distance. Our primary role is to make sure that that doesn't happen. We try to do everything we can to make the student feel that they have someone there by their side through it all.
We're also supported by over 100 physical locations, the United States, Europe, and Asia. You can always walk into one of our locations and be supported.
If you want to have the absolute best education, Riddle is it. You have different professors from different backgrounds. Outside of Riddle, they are very engaged within their respective fields. So that gives you not only book knowledge, but real life knowledge.
The Eagle Vision website, it's phenomenal. It's fast, it's interactive with real-time video and chatting.
We are doing things at Embry-Riddle that are very unique, things that people typically thought would only happen in the classroom.
We were actually able to develop and build a virtual aircraft crash investigation lab, where students can walk around in the crash lab as avatars, and they can investigate different aspects of an aircraft accident investigation.
Taking that experience of people who've been in the field and done it, and then they're teaching today, and they've created this virtual lab based on real-world experience, it's really powerful.
You have to bring an online course to life, and that's, I think, where we make the difference and why we're rated #1. We take the time to think about what we have to do to make that learning experience enjoyable for the student and at the same time maintain our rigor.
We try to make sure that things involve simulations and that students are competing amongst one another. It's friendly competition, and it really brings out the best in people because they're learning together, they're having fun together, they're bonding, and generally it leads to lifelong networking.
I love that I can pursue my education while I have my house, while I have my job. I'm balancing everything out perfectly.
When we design our courses, we have the working adult in mind that allows students to be able to choose the schedule that works best for their busy lifestyle. Currently, we have over 12 undergraduate degrees and over 16 graduate degrees. Some of our graduate programs you can do in 1 year because of our flexible scheduling.
The Embry-Riddle name on your resume is huge. It's recognized throughout the world, and when you see the name Embry-Riddle on a transcript or a resume, your employer knows that you've had one of the best educations available.
We're trying to make sure that our graduates can obtain jobs, and we have 2 great resources for students. And one is our Career Services Department, or actually we have an Eagle Hire Network, which allows students to apply for jobs right from our network.
If one day I decide to go the management route, that can be done. If one day I decide to go the safety route, then my education, my background would have given me a solid foundation to tackle those opportunities down the road.
Having that graduate degree ultimately stepped me into a job where I was able to take what I knew from the Marine Corps as well as the education I got from Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University and apply that to fields not only just aviation related, but to other aspects as well. But ultimately, I have 2 daughters. I want them to go to college. I want them to say, hey, this is what my dad accomplished. What's holding me back?
If I had the chance to go back 4 years ago and I was faced with the very same choices, would I go to Riddle? Absolutely. To this day, it's the very best choice I've ever made.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. As a courtesy to today's guests, please silence all of your phones. Please also know that Grad Images is taking individual professional photos, and they will be made available to all graduates electronically. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the processional. The processional is led today by Mr. Andy Speck, Assistant Professor of the Practice for the College of Business, who is carrying the ceremonial university mace. Ladies and gentlemen, now entering are the Master, Baccalaureate, and Associate degree candidates. Now entering is the platform party. ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing for the presentation of colors by the United States Air Force Junior ROTC Color Guard Team from Western Hills High School, Unit TC-863, and the singing of the national anthem by Reverend Michael Wiggins, Associate Pastor at Heritage Baptist Church in Haslett, Texas.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am William Muldoon, Vice Chancellor of Campus Operations for the Worldwide Campus. It is my privilege to welcome you to the 2021 commencement ceremony for Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University Worldwide. At this time, it is my honor to introduce our stage guests for the evening. Please hold your applause until each has been recognized. Members of the platform party, as I call your name, please stand and remain standing. Starting in the back, on your left, Mr. Andy Speck, Professor of the Practice for the College of Business, and our mace bearer. Dr. Ken Witcher, Dean of the College of Aeronautics. Dr. Manish Sharma, Dean of the College of Business. Mr. Matt Bird, our commencement speaker. And Dr. John R. Wattret, Chancellor, Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University Worldwide. At this time, please rise as Mr. Jim Pepin offers the invocation.
Let us pray. Wise and gracious one, We ask your blessings upon the students, faculty, and staff of Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University. We have been called to the high task of seeking knowledge, promoting ethics, and seeking growth in body, mind, and spirit. We give thanks for the gifts of this class and the way they have made this university a better place for having been here. Grant students and family joy and satisfaction as they see their dreams of graduation fulfilled this day. We ask this in the confidence of your grace. Amen.
Please be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure once again to welcome you to the Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University Worldwide 2021 Commencement Ceremony. We truly are worldwide. Over the course of your studies, you interacted with our faculty and staff and fellow students all over the globe in locations in the United States, Germany, Italy, Japan, Singapore, South Korea, Spain, and the United Kingdom. We recognize that many of you have traveled to attend this ceremony, and it is our great pleasure to welcome families and friends, our community friends, and our distinguished guests to the most important and anticipated event on our academic calendar, graduation. We also wish to recognize several groups of individuals who have played key roles in the successful operation of this great university and who contribute to the success of today's ceremony. The first group includes those individuals who have played a major role in preparing and mentoring our graduating seniors and master's degree candidates for their future careers, our worldwide faculty, some of whom are joining us virtually this evening. The second group deserving special recognition includes all of our dedicated staff, without whose many hours of tireless work this ceremony would not be possible. I ask our staff to please rise and be recognized. Thank you. Please be seated. The most honored guests today are the families of our graduates. Graduates, your families' love and support have helped to make this day possible. Graduating seniors and master's degree candidates, please stand and acknowledge your families for their support. Please be seated. All of you have worked so hard to be here today, and we celebrate each and every one of you. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Dr. John R. Watrett, Chancellor of Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University Worldwide Campus, who will officially open our commencement ceremony.
On behalf of the Board of Trustees of Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University, it is my pleasure to declare the 2021 Commencement Ceremony of Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University Worldwide now open. And before I go on, I'm going to slightly go off script here, because on Wednesday, last Wednesday, Inspiration 4 launched into space with the first four civilian crew on board. Just as we were walking in, they successfully splashed back down into just outside Titusville in Florida. But what is even more special about that event is that of the 4 astronauts on board, now astronauts, 2 of them, Jared Isaacman, who was the leader of that team, and Chris Zembrowski, are both graduates of Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University Worldwide, similar to you, are here today. So we're proud of them, proud for the success, and proud of the mission that we're doing to raise funds for St. Jude's Hospital, which is a great cause for children. So with that, I offer my congratulations to each of you and to your families as well. We at Embry-Riddle are extremely proud of your achievements and confident of your success. We know how much hard work you dedicated to each course you took, and because of that effort, this is a day of great celebration. Be very proud of your accomplishment. It is significant and will propel you to reach even greater success. And stay in touch with our great university. You are joining an elite team of graduates that will be with you on your lifelong journey. I sincerely hope that everyone enjoys the ceremony and savors the meaning of this day and its colors and traditions. I'm honored now to welcome our speaker for today's ceremony. Matt Bird serves as President and CEO of Hillwood Aviation, associate with the Perot Group of companies, focusing on real estate, investments, and aviation-related business opportunities. Being a real estate provider to the aviation companies for over 30 years at their Alliance, Texas, Alliance, California, and Alliance, Florida developments. Bird and Hillwood have demonstrated their commitment to maintaining long-term relationships with its customers. Prior to his current position, Bird was President and CEO of Gulf Alliance Company, a Perot company based in Abu Dhabi, where he lived with his family for 7 years. Bird has held a variety of positions within the Perot Group companies for the past 20-plus years. Public service is at the utmost important for Matt. Matt served for 33 years in the United States Air Force. Matt retired from the United States Air Force Reserves in 2018, where he served as a T-38C Talon instructor at Shepherd Air Force Base. In the United States Air Force, he flew as a demonstration pilot with the Thunderbirds, an instructor pilot in the F-117A stealth fighter and the A-10 Thunderbolt II and the T-38C Talon. Matt served 3 tours in the Middle East, where he flew combat missions in the F-117 during Desert Storm. While in NATO, Matt had the opportunity to fly Russian MiGs and Sukhois in Poland, the Czech Republic, and Hungary. In his 40 years of flying, Matt has flown over 50 types of fixed-wing and rotorcraft airplanes, and I think there's one of his planes in here that he's flown, with a present focus on electrical vertical takeoff and landing eVTOLs aircraft. Matt received a Bachelor of Science in Math of Operation Research from the United States Air Force Academy and a Master's of Science from Troy State University. He is a graduate of the Air Command and Staff College and the Armed Forces Staff College. Matt served on the National Business Aviation Association Board of Directors, is the Vice President of the Falcon Foundation Board of Trustees, U.S. Air Force Academy, and ICOR International FC LLC, and a member of the World Air Affairs Council, the Dallas Committee on Foreign Relations, and the US-UAE Business Council. Previously, Matt served as chairman of AmCham Abu Dhabi and chairman of AmCham MENA, and the board of directors for the American Air Museum, Duxford. Matt had the pleasure of working on the Air Force Memorial in Washington, D.C. for 6 years. Please welcome Matt Bird.
Dr. Watchert, thank you very much. Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished visitors, family, friends, graduates, take a moment to soak it all in. That's probably one of the biggest challenges I've had in life, is not savoring the moment. Look around, look at who's by you, look who's supporting you, look at this venue with all these wonderful aviation machines. It's very special. This is a special night, and I am honored to be here. I'm excited to be here. Dr. Watchert, thank you for inviting me to be here. For me, it's important to savor these moments. A mentor of mine told me, you learn, you earn, and you return. I'm in the return phase of my life. You are learning, and I applaud that. You have my admiration. And I've got a few thoughts. Thank you for that kind introduction. Through the experience in the Air Force, flying different types of airplanes, being tested in combat, and then going into business with the Perot's, who are instrumental with this venue, I'm honored to be here and to talk about some of the experiences that I've learned. I hope they resonate. If they don't, trash them. I remember lots of commencement addresses that I don't think I listened very much. But I also have some jokes, so make sure you laugh at that, otherwise you'll hurt my feelings. May I ask that all the veterans in the room stand and be recognized? Fantastic. Thank you very much. Thank you for your service. I noticed that the Embry-Riddle mascot is an eagle. Mr. Perot has a big eagle in our headquarters, and it says, "Eagles don't flock. You have to find them one at a time." Eagles are special. You all are eagles. At the Air Force Academy, for 4 years, every day when I would march to lunch, I would pass the eagle and fledgling's statue. Even though our mascot's a falcon, there's an eagle there. And little eagles, I guess that represents the cadets. But it says on the base, man's flight through life is sustained by the power of his knowledge. You guys just added fuel to your flight through life, and that's admirable. So, Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University is the #1 online bachelor's program for veterans. That's very cool. I like that. So, in my 40 years in aviation that John talked about, I've learned some things about aeronautics and aviation. One of the 10, now you got to stay with me on this because you guys are graduates, so this is deductive reasoning and it's important. So I don't think there's going to be a test, but flexibility is the key to air power. We say that all the time. Flexibility is the key to air power. Well, in deductive reasoning, you have to believe that indecision is the key to flexibility. If you buy that, maybe you'll buy that poor prior planning is the key to indecision. And then I would contend that late night partying is the key to poor prior planning. And if you buy that, deductive reasoning says you have to admit that late night partying is the key to air power. So we might be guilty of that as a fighter pilot. Flying the A-10 and the F-117 and the F-16 and the T-38 for the last 20 years has proven to me that speed is life. Y'all are going to have to be faster than we were. We want it all and we want it now. That is the world that we live in of Amazon delivery and Walmart delivery. And there's huge opportunities in aviation, and I'll talk about that in a minute. People ask me, of those airplanes, which ones do I like the best? And it depends on what your mission is. Horses for horses. If I need to destroy tanks, I want to fly the A-10. If I've got to sneak in behind enemy lines, like I did in Baghdad, and take out the Osiris nuclear reactor, I want a stealthy airplane like the F-117. If I'm going to do air shows, and sorry, I'm distracted by the world's second best demo team airplane here. It's not bad looking airplane. But if you want to do air shows in front of millions of people, there's no better than a red, white, and blue F-16. And I have been blessed and honored to be able to do all of those things. I went to serve in NATO, and I flew all the Russian MiGs and Sukhois. The problem was I was never home. I was being all I could be. How many Army veterans do we have here? I think that's an Army motto, but I believe in it. Be all you can be. And in your program that you have, I love this. It says at the front, you already have wings, you just need to learn to fly. I believe in God. I believe that God created every one of us. I think He endowed us with special gifts, and we're all a part of a team. It's part of this seeking knowledge to determine what role you play on those teams. I was blessed early that I figured out it was flying. And that's what God put me on this planet to do, is to fly. And I'd rather, like that bumper sticker, I'd rather be flying. Your job is to figure out what it is that you're going to do with the rest of your lives. And you're not done as long as you're here. He'll take you home when you're done, and you'll know. But while you're here, keep striving to figure out what it is that He wants you to do. When I was gone, I figured this out while I was gone all this time. I missed 3 of my 5 children being born. I'm happy to report that next Saturday, a week from today, will be our 34th wedding anniversary. So she stayed with me. We all know balance, right? Well, I was way out of whack. That's what the world told me. And I was being all I could be. I got out of the active duty, and I came here to Texas. I joined the reserves. 1 week a month I'd fly, and the other 3 weeks I'd work for the Perot family. Ross Perot ran for president in 1992 and 1996. He was a Naval Academy graduate. He worked at IBM. He was the top salesman at IBM. He had great innovative ideas that the system couldn't digest, so he left. He started EDS and became a multi-billionaire. What I'm going to share with you are some of the lessons that he taught me. And I'm a simple knuckle dragon fighter pilot, so I boil it down to 3 C's and 4 P's. The 3 C's of leadership are, you have to be competent, number 1. You have to be able to get up, dress up, show up. You have to be competent. And he proved that by being the #1 salesman at IBM. Number 2, you have to demonstrate character. You have to walk the talk. Hypocrisy, and if you all have kids, they see through that immediately. The last one that was probably the most important one, he cared. Mr. Perot cared about his employees, and there's a great book called On Wings of Eagles, where he left his mother's bedside where she was dying. She said, "Didn't you send those people over there? Don't you think you ought to go get them?" And he went to Iran and then staged the largest jailbreak in the history and got the 2 EDS employees out. He cared for his people. The 4 P's of business: be positive. A positive attitude is as contagious as a negative one. People around you watch you. Be positive. Be principled. Have integrity. Be proactive. Make it happen. Do your best, like on your program, to fly. And be productive. You have to add value. Wherever you are, find a way to add value and make the organization better. The pros have built their companies with the help of veterans, specifically combat veterans at EDS from Vietnam and at Perot Systems from the wars in the Middle East. I'm incredibly optimistic about aviation. 1903, we had an inflection point with powered flight when the Wright brothers flew. In the 1950s, we had jet propulsion and intercontinental travel. Today, we have electric vertical takeoff and landing machines. Beta, Joby, Lilium, Archer, Whisk, Wing, Zipline. They're changing the world. Zipline is delivering blood in Africa, and it's saved 20,000 lives in the last 2 years. These are companies you can be a part of. They're growing. Go to a company that has growth opportunities. Take a chance. make the world a better place. This is going to decarbonize aviation, and it's going to allow people to get what they want faster. Eventually, you'll travel. You'll be in an Uber above the Dallas traffic, Los Angeles, New York, Rio, name the city, London, and you'll go what's normally a 2-hour drive by car, you'll go in 15 minutes in an electric taxi. That's part of your world. It's happening. The veterans here, I want to share with you a quote that's near and dear to my heart. It's from Father Dennis Edward O'Brien, U.S. Marine Corps. He said, "It's the soldier, not the reporter, who gives us freedom of the press. It's the soldier, not the poet, who has given us freedom of speech. It's the soldier, not the campus organizer, who has given us the freedom to demonstrate. It's the soldier who salutes the flag, who serves beneath the flag, and whose coffin is draped by the flag, who allows the protester to burn the flag. Thank you all for your service. I congratulate you for your successful completion of your degree. You can do a little chicken dance to enjoy the moment and then get back to work because we need you. Our country needs you. Keep your mock up. Remember, speed is life. God bless you all. Thank you very much.
Matt, have you joined me back up here? So thank you, Matt, for your thoughtful words, challenging vision, and the sound advice for our graduates and for all of us. As a symbol of our gratitude, we'd like to present you with the Distinguished Speakers Award from Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University.
At this time, the faculty of Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University worldwide are pleased to present the candidates for graduate degrees. I take this opportunity to share some interesting information about the hooding ceremony. The origins of academic regalia are obscured in history, but believed to have originated in the 12th and 13th centuries. The wearing of distinctive regalia for universities consisting of a cap, gown, and hood began in England. There, the statutes of certain colleges prescribed the wearing of a long gown by faculty and students. Although originally attached to the robe, the hood subsequently became a separate garment. Interestingly, for educators of old, the deep pocket of the hood was used to collect alms and to collect food for nourishment. Today, colors have become important in distinguishing one degree from another and in describing one's graduate university. In keeping with this tradition, Embry-Riddle's hood reflects the school's colors, royal blue and gold. The field of graduate study is designated by the color of the satin binding. Silver for the Master of Science in Aeronautics, the Master of Science in Cybersecurity Management and Policy, the Master of Science in Human Factors, the Master of Science in Occupational Safety Management, the Master of Science in Unmanned Systems, and the Master of Science in Systems Engineering. Gold for the Master of Science in Human Security and Resilience, and drab for the Master of Business Administration in Aviation, the Master of Science in Engineering Management, the Master of Science in Information Security and Assurance, the Master of Science in Leadership, the Master of Science in Logistics and Supply Chain Management, the Master of Science in Management, the Master of Science in Management Information Systems, and the Master of Science in Project Management. When our degree candidates cross the stage, you will note that a number of them are wearing medallions. Those master's degree candidates wearing gold medallions are to be graduated with distinction, as they have achieved a grade point average of 4.0. As a group, will these students please rise and be recognized? Please be seated. Candidates will be presented by the dean of their respective college. From the College of Aeronautics, Dr. Ken Witcher, and from the College of Business, Dr. Manish Sharma. Dr. Sharma will also present graduates on behalf of the College of Arts and Sciences. At this time, I invite Dr. Ken Witcher, Dean of the College of Aeronautics, to come to the podium.
Thanks, Bill. Will the candidates for master's degrees from the College of Aeronautics please rise? Dr. Watret, it is my honor to present the candidates from the College of Aeronautics master's degrees as recommended by the faculty.
This begins the candidates for the degree of Master of Science in Aviation Maintenance. Catherine Allen, with distinction. Philip Baldwin Huntington, with distinction. Adam Michael Lopez. Brett Eric Sharp, with distinction. Jessica Nicole Strauss. This begins the candidates for the degree of Master of Science in Occupational Safety Management. Nasita Devi. Ulysses H. Duenas. This begins the candidates for the degree of Master of Science in Unmanned Systems. Patrick Michael Carroll, with distinction. James Earl Garza. Joe S. Goody, Alpha Sigma Lambda. William Noland. This begins the candidates for the degree of Master of Systems Engineering. Miriam Gracias Curley. Lydia Nicole Lay. This concludes the presentation of master's degrees from the College of Aeronautics.
At this time, I invite Dr. Manish Sharma, Dean of the College of Business, to come forward.
Will the candidates for master's degrees from the College of Business and the College of Arts and Sciences please rise? Dr. Watrat? It is my honor to present the candidates for the College of Business and the College of Arts and Sciences master's degrees as recommended by the faculty.
This begins the candidates for the degree of Master of Business in Administration and Aviation. Ramika Yvonne Carter. Nathan Richard Scholand with distinction. Brett Mitchell Shriver. Jonathan Wu. This begins the candidates for the degree of Master of Science in Engineering Management. Adegoke Joshua Adelabu. Yesenia Guadalupe Lopez. Morgan Faye Vieira Smith. This begins the candidates for the degree of Master of Science in Information Security and Assurance. Kanae Jacquees Mosley, with distinction. This begins the candidates for the degree of Master of Science in Logistics and Supply Chain Management. Wendy Burnley, with distinction. Terrence Evans, with distinction. Joseph Michael Giuliani. Katerina Giuliani, with distinction. Allah Hussein. This begins the candidates for the degree of Master of Science in Management. Kendra Vanessa Burden, with distinction. Lindsay Jeray Lewis, with distinction. Mitchell D. Smith, with distinction. This begins the candidates for the degree of Master of Science in Project Management. Shannon Marie Beaver, with distinction. Lamontre Nicole Edmondson, with distinction. Benito Gonzalez Jr., with distinction. Kristen M. Roth, with distinction. This concludes the presentation of master's degrees from the College of Business and the College of Arts and Sciences. This also concludes the presentation of master's degrees.
I now share with you information regarding our undergraduate degree candidates. When our degree candidates cross the stage, you will note that a number of them are wearing honor cords. I'll take a moment to explain the significance of these accoutrements and to recognize those wearing them. Those graduates wearing white cords have achieved grade point averages of between 3.5 and 3.69 and will be graduated cum laude with honors. As a group, will these students stand and please be recognized? Please be seated. Those graduates wearing red cords have achieved grade point averages of between 3.7 and 3.89 and are to be graduated magna cum laude with great honors. As a group, will these students please rise and be recognized? Please be seated. Finally, those graduates wearing gold cords have earned a grade point average of between 3.9 and 4.0 and are to be graduated summa cum laude with highest honors. As a group, will these students please rise and be recognized? At this time, the faculty of Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University Worldwide are pleased to present the candidates for undergraduate degrees from the College of Aeronautics, the College of Arts and Sciences, and the College of Business. Will all candidates for undergraduate degrees please rise? Dr. Watrett, it is my honor to present the candidates for undergraduate degrees as recommended by the faculty.
This begins the candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Science in Aeronautics. Peyton Galway Arada. Leandres Barnett, Jr. Raul Benavides, Jr., magna cum laude. Matthew James Bison. Tony Cuevas, summa cum laude. Blake Dillon, magna cum laude, Alpha Sigma Lambda. Juan P. Garcia, Jr., cum laude. Stephen Kirk Gonzalez, magna cum laude. Darian Jerome Hubbard II. Travis Owen Jordan, Alpha Sigma Lambda. Justin Noel Luna, cum laude, Alpha Sigma Lambda. Joseph Lawrence Nash, summa cum laude, Alpha Sigma Lambda. Jesse Ochoa Jr. Eric Michael Parker. Jason D. Preble. Alan E. Purcell, magna cum laude, Alpha Sigma Lambda. Joseph David Roberts. Corey Paul Robinson, magna cum laude. Richard J. Rogers. Jerry Ervin Terry Veliz, magna cum laude. Daniel Vladimir Vaca Alacoron. Jeffrey Paul von Voigtlander II, summa cum laude. John Milton Wahlberg, summa cum laude, Alpha Sigma Lambda. This begins the candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Science in Aviation Management. James Eric Twite, summa cum laude, Alpha Sigma Lambda. This begins the candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Science in Engineering. Jeremy Linte Robertson, Jr. This begins the candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Science in Safety Management. Francisco Javier Castillo, Jr. Jose A. Munoz. This begins the candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Science Unmanned Systems. Daniel G. Minter. This begins the candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Science in Emergency Services. Joseph Wayne Dixon II. This begins the candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Science in Interdisciplinary Studies. Karen Patrice Moore, magna cum laude. This begins the candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Science in Aviation Business Administration. Jamal Hussein Hamza, Alpha Sigma Lambda. Sarah Catherine Howard, summa cum laude, Alpha Sigma Lambda. Darisha Levon Vidrine. This begins the candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Science in Logistics and Supply Chain Management. Anthony G. Brown, Sr. Scott Harmon. Jean Desiree Paoka, magna cum laude. Francis Eli Whitty, cum laude. This begins the candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Science in Project Management. Jacob Linden Poole. This begins the candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Science in Technical Management. Samly Chanthaboon. This concludes the presentation of undergraduate degrees.
Now we arrive at the moment for which we've all been waiting. Dr. Watchett, would you please join me at the podium? Will all of the graduating candidates from all of the colleges please rise and remain standing? Dr. Watchett, these candidates have completed all of the requirements of their degrees. With the recommendation of the faculty of Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University, I am pleased to present them to you for the conferring of degrees.
Thank you. And this is a moment. By the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees, I hereby confer on you, as appropriate, the Associate of Science degree, the Bachelor of Science degree, and the Master of Science degree with all rights, privileges, honors, and responsibilities appertaining thereto. Congratulations. You may now move your tassel to the left side of your mortarboard, symbolizing your new status as a graduate of Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University. Congratulations, everyone.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise as we present our alma mater. You may find the words on the last page of your program.
Eagles gather near, we lift our voices loud and clear, soaring high, O alma mater, threads of blue and gold. United we soar in vast open skies. Embry-Riddle we hail thee, great memories we'll hold. So here's to you, old DRAU, alma mater true. We pledge in love and harmony our loyalty to you. Singing thy praise, remembering the days, coast to coast around the world, our bond forever true, embracing our dreams with pride far and wide. Embry-Riddle we hail thee, great memories we'll hold. true. We pledge in love and harmony our loyalty to you.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are truly delighted that all of you can be here with us today and share in this special occasion. I ask you to please remain standing now as Mr. Jim Pepin offers our closing benediction.
Well, I can tell you the first time in 12 graduations that everyone remembered the card. Congratulations. I'll tell you, not long ago, I got hooked onto this thing called Facebook because of my wife. She was infatuated with Harriet and Ozzie. Harriet and Ozzie were a set of eagles who raised two young eaglets in their nest. And for 10 weeks, I listened to everything that Harriet and Ozzie did for those two little eaglets. And I got pretty fed up with Harriet and Ozzie because they consumed all of our time. But at the end of those 10 weeks, Harriet and Ozzie did something unique. They took those eagles and they threw them from the nest. It's called fledging. Eagles, today you are being fledged. And we pray and we hope that you will go do great things, and our university will be exceptionally proud of each and every one of you. Let us pray. Now, as we leave this place, may eternal love enfold us, may spiritual power strengthen us, and may the hands comfort us, and may we be carried on eagle's wings until we meet again. Amen.
Family and friends, please be seated. We ask that you remain seated until the platform party and all graduates have left the area. Thank you.
when you